relax, chill. Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan from The Candid Appetite, and welcome to another episode of Recipe on the Back. This is the show where I find different products at the grocery store that have recipes on the back. I give them a try, I let you know if it's worth it, and we just have fun. So let's get started. On this week's episode, we have a bag of random California sun-dried tomatoes. 100% California grown. Julian cut, ready to eat. Look at that. It's random, but the recipe sounded really good, so I thought we would give it a try. It is sun-dried tomato chickpea burgers. It's gluten-free because there's no flour in it, and they're vegan because there's no animal products. So this is, wow, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free. Mind you, we're gonna put mayo on the burgers and the buns are brioche, so they're not completely vegan, but the patties themselves are. And so obviously if you're making this, you can use gluten-free buns and, you know, adapt to what you need. But it sounded good. And it has chickpeas, onion, garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes, some fresh basil, almonds, cumin. I was trying to say turmeric, which is the next one I would say, cumin. Turmeric, sea salt, and pepper. That's it. Easy peasy. The first thing we need to do is make the mixture. It's a simple mixture of chickpeas. It's all done in a food processor, so that makes it so much easier. So first things first, it says, in the food processor, we're gonna add the chickpeas, which we have a can of drained garbanzo beans. Make sure that it's completely dried. And I think that's because we don't wanna add any excess moisture or any more moisture to the patties than we need, because that will make them crumble and not stay together. So make sure you drain them, rinse them, and pat them dry. So half of a small yellow onion that we're dicing. Even though it's going in the food processor and you're gonna cut it down either way, you wanna make sure to help it along, because if you add big chunks to it, you're gonna need to process it longer than it needs to. Goes in with the chickpeas. We're also gonna add 5 peeled garlic cloves, and I'm gonna chop them slightly. So half a cup of these sun-dried tomatoes. We'll eyeball it. Half a cup. A cup of fresh basil. That's gonna give it a lot of flavor. And then a cup of ground almonds. You can grind the almonds yourself until it's like this fine powder, or just use almond flour, which is the same thing, and I had almond flour, so that's what I'm gonna use. And then some seasonings. We're gonna do a tablespoon and a half of cumin, half a teaspoon of turmeric, which will give it flavor, but also give it a nice color. Turmeric. A teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Pulse it a few times until the mixture kind of looks like ground meat. I don't want to say meat, but you know what I'm saying. You might have to stop it halfway and scrape down the sides to make sure everything gets evenly combined. There's just a lot of mixture in here. Shush. Shush. So you want the mixture to be like that. I like it to still have a little bit of texture to it, so you don't want to process it until it's completely smooth. I think it'll make the burgers taste better. Like squeeze a little bit, and if it sticks together, see like that, it's fine. If it's really dry for whatever reason, you can add a teaspoon of water, like a little bit at a time. You don't want to add too much water where it's going to be too wet and then the patties aren't going to stick together. So just add a teaspoon at a time until you get the desired consistency. So we're going to transfer this to a bowl and then chill it for like 20 minutes just to help the patties stick together. Okay, so our patty mixture has cooled, and now it's time to form them into our burger patties. We're gonna bake them in the oven, which is, I really like, because I find that if you pan fry or try to grill veggie burgers, a lot of the time they kind of fall apart, or when you try to flip them, they'll kind of disintegrate. So I like that this recipe bakes them. So we're gonna divide the mixture into 5 burgers, it says. But I think I'm gonna do 4 heartier patties. And they actually feel really good. Like I've made other veggie burgers where they don't even form into patties like this. They like crumble. This has a good texture and a good moisture level to them. I lined it with foil to make it easier to clean later, but also to make sure that they don't stick. To make them crispy on both sides, I want to brush the bottom of the pan with olive oil. And then we're gonna brush the patties on both sides with oil as well. Flip it, brush the top as well. And so because this isn't like beef, where sometimes when you make burgers, you make them a little bit bigger because they tend to shrink as the fat melts away. These will stay the same size. So you kind of want to gauge it to the size of your buns, and then you can decide how thick or how thin you want your patties. I think they look great. I think they're gonna taste really good because of the fresh basil and the spices we put in here. But overall, I think, like I said, they're holding up nicely. I think they're gonna be delicious. So once you've brushed the patties with oil, you're gonna bake them in a 400-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. It doesn't mention anything about flipping them, so I don't think I will. Why bother? That's it. So let's bake them. Our veggie burgers are done. Look at this. Wow. They don't look like they're gonna hold up that much. They look a little bit crumbly, but maybe they'll taste good. They look good and they smell delicious. I also toasted my buns. I just have a brioche bun here. So the recipe itself doesn't really give much in terms of like what you need for assembling your burger. It kind of just leaves it at bake the patties, and then that's it. So I took it upon myself to add some toppings here. So we have our toasted buns. I'm gonna add some mayo. Again, if you are trying to make this vegan, just get vegan mayo. Or you can also spruce up your mayo and do like a sriracha mayo or like an aioli of some kind. Whatever's at the grocery store that you really like. You can just do ketchup if that's what you like. There's no judgment here. I find that sometimes veggie burgers are on the drier side, so you want to kind of complement it by adding some kind of sauce to the buns. To that, we're gonna do some lettuce. I just have some green leaf lettuce here. Spinach would be great because it's kind of got like a Mediterranean twist to this, like with the sun-dried tomatoes and the chickpeas, so spinach would be delicious. There we go, and then we're gonna add a tomato slice on each, and then some sliced red onion for patties. Look at that. They look amazing. Looks good, right? Delicious.
It's delicious.
They smell really good. I think they're gonna taste great. So, shall we try it? Okay, let's see. I'm not really a vegetarian eater, but these are delicious. I would make this again. I would say it's an 8 Napoleon. It's got great flavor. Again, I keep basing it on other veggie patties I've had, and some of them are really bland, but this one has great flavor because of the basil and the cumin and the turmeric, and the sun-dried tomatoes pack a little bit of a punch. So give these a try, you're gonna love them. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week where we'll make something else. Who knows what it'll be, but I'm looking forward to it either way. So come back, like, subscribe, follow, do all that jazz, comment, let me know what you think. Thanks again. See ya.